Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Alan Graham from Counts Real Estate, and we're going to talk about your home and maybe a home you might want to sell too, right, Alan?
That's true, Don. Good to see you again.
Good to be seen. Thank you so much for coming on the show again.
Today I'd like to talk about, last week we talked about some listing agreements and how you get prepared to sell a home.
Yeah.
And during part of that process, the seller has to fill out disclosures. And in the state of Florida, there are a variety of disclosures, and I got to share with you that most disclosures were created by lawsuits. And so there's one of them, the homeowners.
By cruel experience.
Yes. The first disclosure you'll be asked to fill out is called a homeowner's disclosure, everything that you know about that house. There's a variety of others that could fall into place. If you live in a subdivision that has a homeowner association, you may be requested to fill out a homeowners association disclosure. In the state of Florida, you'll be requested to fill out a sinkhole disclosure, and if your house was built before 1978, you might be asked to fill out a lead-based paint disclosure. And the last one, which we don't get filled out that often anymore, it seems like the lawsuits may have subsided, was a radon gas disclosure.
Do we really get much radon in this part of the country? Because
No.
I know that it's kind of a northeastern phenomenon for the most part.
Right. They figured that it came out of the accumulation of stone and the gases emitted and the radioactive materials from granite or those types of stones. We don't really have radon gas in the state of Florida except in the central area where we have some phosphorus mines down there. And also the tightness of the houses today contribute to the retention of those gases. We're told that if we build a space as tight as we possibly can and heat it and cool it as few times as possible, it doesn't allow for air changes in the house to be able to bring in fresh air. And so
now, and I'll say I'm a homeowner, and I've only bought and sold a few homes in my lifetime, and I'm trying to sort of kind of remember, because I know my realtor would take care of all that heavy lifting and minutia for me,
Right.
which is another good reason to have a realtor. But is there a checklist of things, or do you have to hire a home inspector to get you through that disclosure process?
No, but there's some warnings about a disclosure statement. It's going to ask you about roof, water heating, plumbing. It's going to ask you about the property and any encroachments that you know about. The thing that I coach customers in on that is that to be as honest as you possibly can. Sometimes people have not occupied a home. They're selling a rental home. So they don't have a lot of information about how the inside has been kept and the appliances are working or not working. And so there's a box on there that says, I don't know. Well, that answer is perfectly fine if you truly don't know. Here's where a disclosure will come back to bite you. If you fill out that you've not had roof leaks, and somebody buys the home and the neighbors come over and they greet you and shake your hand and bring you your cupcakes and well, we hope you enjoy the new home. Hey, did they ever get that roof leak fixed? And you pull out your disclosure and they said, well, there's never been a roof leak, and you show it to them and they say, that guy had the roofers over here about every 2 weeks. So you've been caught.
Yeah, then you're in trouble.
There you go.
You know, honesty is the key when buying and selling. As long as you're being honest, I mean, you'll stay out of trouble.
The words, I don't know, if you truly don't know. And people don't like to admit that they don't know. But if that is the truth, that's the most effective way to answer a problem. And what it does is it shifts the responsibility to the buyer to get a good home inspection and thoroughly investigate the property. So it kind of shifts that responsibility, which is a great way to mitigate it.
Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. It's that easy.
Right.
Now, you know, when we sold a home, we didn't have to worry about roof leaks or anything because we had put a new roof on the house about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years before we sold the place. So it was way too easy to say, okay, everything's fine, I suppose. But they still found little things wrong. And here's something that kind of gets me. We had some flashing around our chimney when we first moved in.
You always do.
All right.
Chimneys are notorious.
Yeah, there was flashing around the chimney, and then a home inspector comes in and says, that flashing's got to go, you got the wrong kind of stuff there, you've got to do something else. So they take it out, and the seller says to me, my guy said it was okay. So we had 2 home inspectors that were at odds with each other on how to treat the flashing around the chimney. Is that common?
Very often, because chimney ends up being a stop block for the roof running off. And so when rain hits the water, it catches right there. And so that flashing to prevent the water from penetrating at the fireplace is critical, the way that it's installed. And so it's really important. There's some ways to mitigate it. We run into chimney issues all the time, and if you have a gable roof that runs out to the chimney that throws the water off to the sides, that's one way to do it. And the other way is to put some type of deflector on the roof prior to the water reaching the chimney.
We had it all on that house. Alan Graham, thank you so much for coming on the show and getting us
Thank you.
smart on home inspections.